I've been a walking heartache, I've made a mess of me. The person that I've been lately ain't who I wanna be. But you stay here right beside me and watch as the storm blows through, and I need you.
Hey everyone, welcome to Gia's Journey. I was inspired to do this video by a few people who are going kind of through some of the same things I'm going through. I suffer with agoraphobia, PTSD, severe anxiety, and OCD. And mental illness is a stigma in America, and I want to kind of help bring some awareness to it, because according to the CDC, in 2016 nearly 45,000 Americans ages 10 and older have died by suicide, and it's increasing, and I want to kind of help people avoid that. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in America, according to the CDC. Now, these are facts that I found on the web myself. At the end of this video, I'm gonna post post the number to the suicide hotline. I mean, if you guys are feeling a certain way, get some help, because you don't want to make a permanent decision based on a temporary feeling, because I've been there, believe me. I was diagnosed in 2012 with anxiety, and I don't remember how it started for me, but I do know that one night I was laying on my couch, and my heart just started beating really, really fast, and I couldn't understand it. I didn't know what was going on, and I had dialed 911 on my phone, but I hadn't pressed the send button because I was like, okay, maybe this is nothing. I'm thinking I'm about to have a heart attack though. I was really scared, and so I dialed 911, but I didn't press send, and I was able to calm myself down with breathing. And a couple days later, I got really short of breath, and the same thing happened with my heart beating real fast. And so I went to the emergency room. And when I went to the emergency room, that's when I found out I had anxiety. I didn't know the symptoms. I didn't think, I didn't know, and that was just a symptom for me. There's plenty other things that can happen, but it's okay, we go through these anxiety attacks, and for me, they're terrifying. Like, I be so freaking scared that I'm about to die. And I mean, in my heart of hearts, I know that I'm not, but that's how I feel when I'm in the moment. So fast forward to 2016, I became pregnant with my last baby. I was 33. Let's see, am I right? Yeah, I was 33. No, hold on. 2016 to 2019. I was 32. I'm sorry. I be forgetting my age sometimes. I also wrote down some talking points because I be forgetting, and that's what I'm very forgetful now. I used to be able to remember a lot of stuff, but in 2016 I became pregnant, and my OBGYN told me that my anxiety would worsen during my pregnancy, and it did in hindsight. During my pregnancy, I didn't notice things. Otherwise, I would have reported them to the specialist that my OBGYN referred me to see for my anxiety, as well as the fact that I never carried a baby full term. My last baby and my second child were the longest I've carried a baby, which was 39 weeks. My other kids came 35, 36, and 37 weeks. So if I had known some of the symptoms, like I became really jumpy while I was pregnant, and I would lay in the bed and my heart would start pounding like really, really hard, where my body was moving. And I really didn't know those. I knew that was kind of a symptom of anxiety, but I didn't think maybe it was a panic attack. Let me say that. It probably was a panic attack and I didn't know it, but I was able to calm myself. It did, in fact, like I said, got worse during my pregnancy, but I didn't know the symptoms. In hindsight, I know now. My first panic attack was during my labor with the baby in 2016. I don't remember much of my labor at all, just the beginning when they started to induce me. And from that point on, I don't remember anything else because I was in a panic attack. My boyfriend said that I was panicked so bad because I really thought something was going to happen to me during my pregnancy, because here I was having another child out of wedlock, and I had promised God I wasn't going to do that. And so I was really scared that my consequence was going to be something happened to me during labor or my baby. But I had a panic attack, and he said that I kept telling the doctors, they kept telling me to push, and I kept telling them that I couldn't, and hold on, just hold on. Okay, so that was the first one. And then the first one that I can't remember was a Sunday morning. I got up, got ready for church, which was December 11th, 2016. I got ready for church, and my stomach was feeling kind of bad, but I was like, well, I'm still going to go to church, whatever, because I had promised myself that I was going to go once my baby turned 4 weeks old. And I wasn't going to be out the full 6 weeks, but I was going to at least wait 4 weeks before I went to church or got out the house to do anything major. And I just wasn't going to send her to the nursery until she turned 2 months and got her shot. So that day I went to church. Everybody said, hey, we ate our breakfast at church like we usually do. Went into the I don't know what it's called. the room where you do the service. And I remember feeling my stomach was upset, like I had to use the bathroom. And so I got up and I went to the bathroom. Nothing happened. So I was like, okay, I'm fine. I just went back to my pew and I sat down, and again I felt the feeling like I had to use the bathroom, and my heart started beating real fast. So I got really scared, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. And then when I got there, nothing happened. I was like, okay, I'm tired of this. I'm not gonna do this no more. I'm just gonna sit here, because I could still hear the sermon from where the bathroom is. It's like right next to the stage, and then my pastor also uses a microphone, so I could hear the sermon. I had my Bible. I was able to, take my notes like I usually do. And I just sat right there by the bathroom through the whole service. And that night they had a program, and my daughter was in the program. She's in the program every year. My oldest daughter, she's 18 now, but at the time she was 16, and she asked me, she said, Mama, can you come to the program tonight? I'm in it. I was like, well, I don't know. I have to see, because my stomach is feeling bad. I tell you what, I'll take an Imodium, and if I'm feeling better, I'll come. Well, I really wasn't feeling better by the time the program started, but I was like, okay, I already took an Imodium. Maybe I'll be okay. And then I didn't want to disappoint her, so I went on and went. Okay. I said, well, I was just going to sit in the back of the church. I was going to sit in the back pew, because I normally sit up front. I sit in the first, second row. But this time I was like, I'll sit in the back, because, if I need to slip out, my stomach go to hurting too bad, I can go home. So my stomach started feeling queasy maybe 5-10 minutes into the program. So I get up and I go to the bathroom, which was kind of far from where I was sitting. Nothing happened. It's like, man, I'm okay. That's what I said to myself. I'm like, okay, I'm okay. I don't have to use the bathroom. I don't know what's going on. But I did feel a little panicked, but I wasn't like, oh, I'm having a panic attack yet. So I went back out and I sat with my children, and I felt the feeling again, but this time a little panic came with it. My heart was beating fast and I was scared. And I had never experienced something like this before, like the way it was that night. So I just went to the bathroom again. Nothing happened. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna keep going back and forth. I'm just gonna go get my car, and I'm gonna pull around and get my kids. Well, I'm walking to the back door to get my car, and I just feel like this really warm sensation go through my body. It's kind of like my heart dropped into my stomach, and I got really nervous, and my heart started beating so fast, and I felt like I was gonna pass out, and I was really, really scared. So I just sat down in the chair that was close to the back door, but I couldn't bring myself to go out to the car. Like, I was really scared. So I go back to the bathroom. And I think we have a couple of bathrooms in our church, but I go back to the bathroom, and for the next 2 hours, y'all, I was in the bathroom crying. My daughter came and checked on me. My children came and checked on me. I was in there crying and scared, and I was just panicked. And it kind of felt like an out-of-body experience. Like I could see myself. It was like I was standing on the outside of myself, watching myself act like this. And it was really scary. My daughter came in, she was like, "Mama, do you want me to go get our pastor's wife?" I don't want to say her name because I'm not sure if she's okay with it, but I was like, "Yeah, please go get her." She went and got her. She came in there. This was like maybe an hour into my panic attack. And she was like, "Georgia, you have to calm down. It's okay. Whoop de whoop." And I said, "Pray for me. Just pray for me. Please pray for me." And she prayed for me. And I thought that would work. In my mind, I've been saved since 2010. God knows my heart. But in my mind, I felt like I was being punished. And I know that's not God. But I really felt like at the time I was being punished for what, for having my baby out of wedlock and things like that. So I feel like that's why I was having it. I was like, because why else would the devil attack me in church? You know what I'm saying? Why would God let this happen? That's how I felt at the time. Now I don't feel this way now. I feel like this is a test, a big storm and a big test for a great testimony, so I can help other people, because God knows that I don't mind sharing my situations, especially if it can help somebody else and save somebody else's life. Because I remember, I haven't told many people this, but I remember a situation back in around 2006 or 7, maybe 2008. I had a neighbor who called me and asked me to get her children. And I got her children. She had 3 girls just like mine. And we didn't see her for a couple days after that. And I remember thinking, like, what's going on with this lady? Why she leave her kids? And that's not like her, because she would always ask me. We would do it for each other all the time. Like, she would get my babies, and I would, if I couldn't make it home in time for, them to get out of school from coming from work, I would get her to get my kids, and she would do the same to me. So it was like 3-4 days had passed, and I couldn't understand, like, why she hadn't called, why she wasn't calling me and checking on her children. So we later found out that there's something right here. We later found out that she was in the hospital and she had a panic attack. And I remember thinking to myself, ain't no anxiety gonna have you in the hospital like that. Ain't no anxiety gonna have you panicked. Ain't no anxiety gonna have you stay in the hospital 3-4 days. Well, God got a way of making you put your foot in your mouth, because I came to realize, going through the situation I'm going through, it will have you in the hospital. Like, it's a chemical imbalance in the brain that makes you feel a certain way, and it's like an overdose of adrenaline when you have a panic attack. And it's so scary. And like, if you haven't experienced it, you don't know what we go through. And it's easy. It's a lot of people that tell me, "Well, Georgia, you can get out. You this and you that." And I've always thought of myself as a strong woman. And I think that's why this situation is so scary for me, because I've always thought of myself as a strong woman, and to be going through this and not being able to leave my house. I haven't been able to leave my house in nearly 2 years, like a full 2 years. So after the first panic attack, I tried going out, and I was still able to like go to my mom's house and get my kids to and from school, and everything just took a turn for the worst in March that year. Well, in January, I stopped going anywhere, period. I had a panic attack at my baby's clinic when she went to get her 2-month shot. And I got my boyfriend to come up there and finish her appointment with her. And then I just, went home. But that was the last time I was really out. And until March that year, I was diagnosed, by the way, with postpartum depression after her at my 6-week checkup. But in January that year, that was my last day out. until March 8th that year, I tried to commit suicide. I wasn't trying to kill myself. I was just feeling overwhelmed by the fact that I wasn't able to go anywhere and I wasn't able to do the things I used to do. And at the time, it seemed like the only way for me to get to the hospital, because I knew I needed help, but I wanted to be sedated enough to where I didn't have to feel the panic of going to the hospital. So I did take some medicine. I took 6 pills of this narcotic, and it pretty much did sedate me. But it didn't, it didn't put me completely out. I was still able to walk around and go to the bathroom once I got to the hospital or whatever. And I stayed in the hospital a week. And while I was in the hospital, I came to realize that I didn't want to make a temporary decision and take myself away from my kids, something I promised I'd never do, based on a permanent decision based on a temporary feeling, because that feeling was only temporary. This agoraphobia is not going to last forever, and if it does, hey, I think of it this way. I could still do everything everybody else do except go out my house. I could still order food and get, food out to eat by ordering it with Grubhub and this is not a paid advertisement, Grubhub and Waiter, and I can still shop online. I can still find ways to make money, I still go to school online, so I can still do everything everybody else do. And I feel like I had to learn to be content in the situation that God had me in. A lot of people are like, that's not of God. But there are certain things that God let us go through so that we can learn lessons from them. Because during this time, I've learned a lot of things that I've taken for granted. I used to get invited places all the time and be like, I don't want to go. I want to stay at home. I used to get, like, my mom used to call me all the time, Georgia, can you please come go to the store for me? Can you do this? Can you come sit with me? And I'm like, and now I wish I could do that. Like, now I wish I could go to my mom's house and sit down. But everybody has to come to me, and I don't really have company on a regular basis. Only people I have is my children and my boyfriend, and my mom is very supportive, and my boyfriend is very supportive, and but I don't have company that often, which is, it's not okay, but it is. The way I cope with this anxiety is I have to do something. I have to stay busy. Like, now I'm recording this video, but I'm not really too much thinking about my anxiety because I'm talking about it, yeah, but I have the TV playing. I have to always have my TV on, because if I don't, the idle thoughts will come in and they will overpower me, and I will have an anxiety attack. This is part 1 of part 2 to a video. My next video is going to be a question and answer, so please drop your comments below, asking any questions that you would like to ask, and I'll try to answer them the best of my ability without compromising my privacy, because I would like to help anybody that I can with this video, but I would also like to keep some things private, okay? But I will answer pretty much anything, pretty much any question that has to do with this situation that I'm going through. And like I said, I hadn't left the house in almost a full 2 years, but I'm still functional, and I have to keep myself busy. I paint. I have 3 kids living at home still. My oldest is off to college. She lives about an hour away in college. And then my boyfriend, like, once he comes home and the kids are asleep, we watch TV, watch movies. We kind of try to keep ourselves occupied. He try to keep me occupied so that I won't go into a panic mode. Yes, I am on medication. For those of you who like to know, yes, I am on medication. How do I get my medication? I cannot go out, so I could not see a regular psychiatrist. There are no programs in Mississippi that allows people with anxiety or agoraphobia to see a doctor. So this is not a paid advertisement, I use an app called Doctor on Demand to see a psychiatrist. I usually see him once a month, and yes, it is expensive, but most of the time I get help from people that are around me, like my daughter, she's working, my niece, my mom. My last appointment was $200, and my boyfriend gave me some, my niece gave me some money on it, my daughter gave me some money, and my mom helped me do my appointment. So I was able to get my appointment, and also my medicine, I had to pay for that out of pocket as well, because the doctor is not here in Mississippi, so they won't pay for Medicaid will not pay for my prescriptions. I have not applied for disability. I don't know why, but I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I feel like if I apply for disability will be a crutch for me. And I'd be like, okay, I have income, so there's no need to work hard to try to get out this situation. And I tried exposure therapy for a while, and then I started back having panic attacks back in August. And that's when I first started seeing the Doctor on Demand doctor, because before that I hadn't had any medical care for about a year, but I hadn't had any panic attacks either, because I made my medicine that I had got from the clinic visit after the hospital, I made that stretch. But I was doing exposure therapy up until about August. I was out and about, I was trying to go around the block little by little. I'm not able to walk because of the fear that I might use the bathroom on myself. I feel like I can get back home quicker in a car than I would walking. So walking terrifies me, but I do try to go outside. My birthday, which was January 22nd, was the first day I was outside in a very long time. Literally outside my door, and it felt good. I feel very accomplished when I'm able to go around the block. I feel like I've broken into something. I've broken that barrier that keeps me in the house, and it feels really good. So exposure therapy, it helps me, and I'm in the process of trying to see if I can do some aromatherapy, because I hate lavender, but I heard that lavender relaxes and it is good for anxiety. So I'm gonna try some lavender. I had ordered a diffuser necklace and some lavender to go in it, but I never got it. I never got it from the place I ordered it from. And so I have to go and order me another one. Let's see. Well, that's gonna be the end of this video. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications so that you can get notifications when I upload my new video, as well as like I said, the suicide hotline is going to be at the end of this video. So if you need help, please call somebody and get help.